In a world full of mysteries and wonders, there is an enigma that defies our comprehension: the unidentified flying objects, the UFOs. But what is even more surprising is that the US Pentagon has been keeping amazing secrets about these phenomena. Join us on an exciting journey to uncover the secrets related to UFO evidence that the Pentagon has kept hidden, and find out the shocking implications this could have for the future of humanity. Levelland, Texas. On our exciting journey into the unknown, we stop in Levelland, Texas, where a strange event occurred in 1957. This exciting event, which even inspired a scene in the famous movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind, left the city in shock. Imagine ordinary people going about their daily chores when suddenly they came across a spectacle beyond their imagination. Reports poured in from all over Levelland, with dozens of witnesses describing rockets streaking across the sky, mysterious lights dancing in the dark, and unidentified objects defying conventional explanation. But this is where the intrigue intensifies. These otherworldly phenomena seem to wreak havoc on their vehicles, causing engines to misfire and shut down, plunging them into ominous darkness. The coincidence was highly unlikely. Authorities were quick at first to dismiss these accounts as mere jokes or far-fetched tales, refusing to take them seriously. However, as more witnesses came forward, even the skeptics could not ignore the accumulated evidence. Project Blue Book, a government investigation into UFO sightings, was called in to shed light on the matter. Their verdict was that it was due to a thunderstorm and elusive fireballs, a seemingly reasonable explanation, except for one glaring fact: no storms, thunder, or rain were reported in the area that fateful night. The Wave of Belgium. Today we put the amazing Wave of Belgium in the spotlight. At the end of November 1989, the peaceful citizens of Belgium were going about their daily chores when they suddenly witness an event that defies explanation. Before their eyes appears a massive triangular UFO suspended in the sky, leaving them stunned and incredulous. Reports began to pour in, narrating this impressive encounter. But here's the shocker. Despite numerous witness testimonies, there was no physical evidence to support these claims. Skeptics doubted the existence of the UFO, dismissing it as mere imagination or exaggeration. However, fate had something extraordinary in store. Fast forward to March 1990 and a new wave of sightings emerges, this time with a notable twist. 2 military radar stations detect the presence of these mysterious objects, arousing the curiosity of the authorities, who send F-16 fighters to investigate the phenomenon. The plot thickens when the pilots are unable to see anything visually, relying solely on their radars to track the elusive targets. Amazingly, these UFOs exhibit unimaginable speed, leaving pilots in awe and struggling to keep up. The impact of this incident cannot be underestimated, as approximately 13,500 people witnessed this extraordinary event, making it one of the most widely experienced and documented UFO sightings in modern history. The Belgian Air Force, unable to provide a concrete explanation, recognized the undeniable presence of unknown activity, and chose not to ignore the unfolding mystery. OHare International Airport. It was November 7, 2006, a seemingly ordinary day at Chicago's bustling OHare International Airport. Flight 446 was preparing to take off for North Carolina when the unimaginable unfolded before the eyes of a United Airlines employee on the runway. In a mesmerizing sight, a dark gray metallic airship materialized out of thin air, hovering effortlessly above one of the doors. Imagine the astonishment that seized the witnesses. It wasn't just the lone clerk who saw it. 11 other employees and a handful of non-employees were captivated by the presence of this extraordinary craft. The time was 4:15 p.m., and the sky over OHare became a stage for the unexplained. The mystery deepens when an unidentified object remains motionless, defying gravity for 5 minutes and then rising vertically, leaving a hole in the clouds. Although witnessed by 15 witnesses, The radars do not detect anything. The Federal Aviation Administration dismisses it as a weather phenomenon, but numerous credible witnesses challenge this. The news spreads quickly, captivating the world's attention. Despite the location in an airport, a rigorous investigation never occurred. The Chicago UFO riddle remains unsolved, full of unanswered questions. The Westville Incident. The Westville Incident occurred in 1966 and is reported to be the largest mass UFO sighting ever recorded. This incident occurred when approximately 300 students and some staff members at a school in Melbourne witnessed multiple UFOs flying silently through the air before landing in a nearby field. Although there has been much speculation about this incident over the years, there is one testimony that stands out among the many eyewitness accounts. The testimony was from a science teacher at the school. He was alerted to the UFO event by a hysterical student and ran outside to see what all the commotion was about, and everything changed in that moment. Andrew, the science teacher, was skeptical and regarded the UFO sightings as mere hoaxes. But when he saw what he described as a car-sized object with a metal bar protruding into the air, he experienced a rapid shock. Change of mind. Andrew explained that he witnessed the most amazing flying object he had ever seen. He explained that every time he tried to get closer to the object, it would slowly accelerate, and then rapidly accelerate before moving away from them. This occurred for about 20 minutes before the aircraft disappeared completely from sight. The principal tried to prevent anyone from talking about the incident, even going so far as to threaten harsh punishments. But surely you don't expect kids who had the privilege of seeing an alien spaceship to keep quiet about it. The big boom in 1952, there was a mass hysteria about flying saucers. There had been a significant increase in UFO sightings and some alien abductions, so everyone was on alert and on their guard. Washington, D.C. was known for these rumors, and the big boom was one of the biggest stories. There were so many reports of unidentified flying objects circulating that a special Air Force intelligence unit had to be deployed to investigate what was happening in Washington airspace. What got people talking was that when radar operators at the National observed objects flying near the White House and the Capitol, 2 F-94 jets were sent to investigate what these objects were. When the planes approached the mysterious objects that appeared on their radar, the objects simply disappeared. The lack of concrete evidence to prove that these were just regular planes was one of the things that fueled local UFO rumors. It also fueled the conspiracy that the government was hiding evidence proving the existence of extraterrestrial life, event known as the Disappearance. In this story we will relive how Australian pilot Frederick Valentic disappeared without a trace under suspicious circumstances. On October 21, 1978, Frederick was part of a training flight. During the flight, Frederick radioed Melbourne Air Traffic Control to inform them that he was accompanied by an aircraft that was flying about 1,000 feet above him, and that it was also having engine trouble. Air Traffic Control responded that there were no aircraft with him, at least none that they could detect. Frederick radioed back to the control room explaining that he was in fact being followed and that he could see a large aircraft overhead with 4 bright landing lights. He explained that his first thought was that another pilot was pulling a prank on him, but a training flight was a terrible time to prank any pilot. Furthermore, he reported that the mysterious aircraft was orbiting him and had a green light. When Air Traffic Control tried to get more details by asking him what type of aircraft it was, Frederick replied that it wasn't exactly an aircraft, and as soon as he said those words, the transmission was interrupted with a metallic scraping sound and poof! All contact with the control tower and Frederick's aircraft was lost. Meticulous sea and air searches were made to find Frederick and his plane missing from him. Because not only was the transmission lost, he was never seen or heard from again. All measures taken to find the lone pilot proved unsuccessful. To this day, no one knows where the pilot Frederick is or could be. Numerous theories have been put forward to unlink Frederick's disappearance from UFOs, but all were sufficiently discredited because they had no physical evidence to back them up. Frederick's disappearance was widely attributed to a UFO, not only because he disappeared without a trace, but because there were many other reports of UFO sightings that night in the same region where he disappeared with his plane. This, of course, leaves more questions than answers, but we all love a good mystery.